Welcome to October. Let's take a look at what the economy is doing, what the Fed is doing, and where it's headed, as well as what it means for the real estate market by looking at the data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and from the National Association of Realtors. And as we talk through it, I want you to ask yourself one question. If you could go back 20 years, would you buy every single piece of real estate you can get your hands on in your area? Looking at unemployment and job openings, it seems to be an employer's market. Now, the government shutdown could have longer lasting effects, especially if there are layoffs involved in areas that are heavy on government employees as far as employment goes. Looking at GDP, the target is 2 to 3% year-over-year growth, and the quarterly results have been revised upward to show a 3.8% quarterly growth rate, which means that we're probably going to end the year at that 2% year-over-year growth mark. Now, once the GDP starts to get towards 4%, that's where the economy tends to be overheated. It doesn't happen very often, and that's usually when the Fed puts on the brakes. What is changing is consumers continue to have a very strong sentiment, and they continue to open up their wallets, showing their confidence and showing that they're hopeful. Because GDP is so strong, the Federal Reserve has already dropped the interest rates by a quarter percentage point, and they're expected to do 2 more price cuts like that. Now, what's keeping a lid on the Fed's move is the inflation. The Federal Reserve likes inflation to be at around 2%, and we're hovering at around 3%, depending if you're looking at the core CPI or CPI with the energy and the food prices, which the Fed doesn't tend to pay too much attention to, as it's more volatile and less indicative of longer-term trends. Now, we are expecting to see a slight uptick in the buy activity, which actually has already been observed through the second and third week of October now. And the mortgage rates have dropped, and a lot of people do statistically want to move during the holidays, during that holiday break while the kids are not at school. This year, locally and nationally, we are expecting a little bit more number of home sales during the holiday season. Now, the new home starts data nationally already shows a 20% uptick since the interest rates have dipped down. The resale market for housing is a lagging indicator because we record our data when the transaction closes, and the transaction usually takes about a month or so, while new home starts for new construction, they mark their data when the offer is accepted. So we should see an impact in the real estate market for resale homes in about a month. Looking at home prices. Looking at single-family median home prices nationally, we're tracking to about a 2% year-over-year growth. And the National Association of Realtors expects a healthy economy to lead to a 4% home price growth. It's worth to point out that locally in Bay Area, we tend to see double the national average appreciation rates, which means about 7.5% or so for single-family homes here. And we tend to double in home values every 10 years, unlike every 18 years for the national data point. What's interesting is that in Bay Area, it's so fragmented and the numbers are all over the map. So for example, if we look at Santa Cruz County, year over year, the median prices are down by just over 13%, while you're seeing a 3.5% uptick or so year over year in Santa Clara County. San Mateo County is up 2.5% year over year, while the East Bay, Alameda County, is actually down just over 1%, and so is Contra Costa. And San Francisco County is down quite a bit year over year, just like Santa Cruz. San Francisco County is down almost 7% year over year. Now, this data, of course, is related to single-family homes, looking at the MLS data, and take a look at the data breakdown by home type, which includes condos and townhomes, as well as information by city. All of that is available in the PDF version of this market update for you. Now, affordability is trending in the right direction, and we don't need home prices to go negative to have better affordability. The great kind of the sweet spot for affordability is where somebody spends 27% of their pre-tax income on housing. And psychologically, buyers would like to see affordability be around that 29% mark, but we are at about 33% at a national level. Do not have the data point for Bay Area specifically. Overall, sellers have come to a realization that the market has changed and they're more willing to work on pricing than they were last year. Stay tuned as the market continues to change. I'm always here to help you make a better life through real estate. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.